Tuesday, Governor Tom Wolf announced a broad new set of statewide restrictions on bars and restaurants and larger indoor gatherings in an effort to stop the spread of COVID-19 in its tracks. This was, of course, in response to a series of recent surges in COVID-19 in the Commonwealth, like Allegheny County, and a growing fear by state and health officials that much of the progress made thus far could be jeopardized. Joining us now to talk about the governor's decision and give us a better understanding of what frontline health workers go through in battling this pandemic is Jim Donnelly, Chief Nursing Officer at UPMC Hammett. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Let's first of all, you're still hearing this, which baffles me, but there are people who don't think this disease is serious. Tell us what you're seeing, especially with those patients who are ill enough to be hospitalized.
I think COVID-19 is a little confusing to people. Certainly, there are people who have minimal symptoms, but if you're over 65 or you have chronic health conditions, this is a profoundly critical illness. And we are seeing that not only here in our region, but across the state, the nation, and the globe. Truly, if you're over 65, the mortality rate, the risk of death is 60 times higher in that population than people who are 20 to 45. So this is something to take very seriously.
But these latest spikes that we're seeing, not only here in the Commonwealth, but across the United States, seem to be a younger age group.
Correct. As we've gone to green and other states have really lifted restrictions, what we're seeing is people go out and socialize. And as a result, yes, younger people are getting afflicted with the illness. The risk of that is they come in contact with older members of their family with chronic illnesses. Now the consequences become really serious.
Right, and hence the closing of bars, or at least reducing those services. Let's talk about here in Erie, what kind of precautions do you take with you and others who work with and around COVID-19 patients on a daily basis? What is it like?
At UPMC Hammett and across the entire UPMC system, we've taken this very seriously. We screen every person who walks into our organization. Remember, UPMC, Hammett, and all facilities across the system have remained open and have been taking care of patients throughout the entire time frame. We've had to be extremely diligent, and we've used technology and an emerging set of knowledge to make sure that we quickly identify patients, isolate them, and provide our staff with the most advanced and protective PPE.
And how is your staff holding up? I mean, I don't think anyone can understand what it's been like for the past 4 months. We've talked about that here at the station for those of us who've been going to work, but you're on the front line. How's the team holding up? Because it's been difficult.
I'm behind the front lines, let's be clear about that. The people who are on the front lines are in there taking care of patients every day. They are truly heroes, Hammett heroes, if you will. Doing what they do is incredibly stressful, but doing what they do is incredibly meaningful. And I think the purpose and importance of their work has never been clearer to the entire public, and it provides our entire team with a sense of mission and purpose that keeps us going.
And Jim, before we let you go, if you could please, let's talk about masks. I don't think I've ever seen quite a debate on something. What are your thoughts on a nationwide mandate to wear masks while in public?
A mandate is a little bit of a challenge. How do you enforce that? I think a more important and effective solution is really educating people. We've been very fortunate that our community has been very receptive and responsible in accepting this. We've seen some hot spots in our local community. Our team has worked with the mayor's office and community leaders to educate people on a public health basis and get compliance through education as opposed to mandates. A mandate could be meaningless. Mm-hmm. The real issue is informing people, educating them, and getting them to do the right thing for the right reason. Protect your family.
And protect your family. Jim Donnelly, Chief Nursing Officer at UPMC Hammett, thank you so much for joining us tonight and for the work you and your staff have done throughout this.
Thank you, Jill.